The world-devouring Galactus will be a great villain, there's no doubt about that. He's extremely powerful, and the type of threat that will result in a new mega crossover event like Infinity War and Endgame. The question is, how would Marvel Studios turn a world-eating giant into a compelling villain? The creative people in charge of the MCU gave us some fantastic villains like Thanos, Loki, and Eric Killmonger. So the next big baddie has some big shoes to fill. Although, after the last time Galactus showed up on the big screen, we think that anything would be better than a big giant smoke cloud. While Galactus is a big old giant cosmic being who eats planets in order to survive, the Devourer of Worlds isn't actually your typical villain. Galactus doesn't really want to kill anyone or destroy planets, but he's always hungry for more cosmic energy. And if he doesn't satisfy this endless hunger, he'll die. And if you didn't know this, bad things happen when Galactus dies. He actually serves as a force of balance in the universe. Galactus is a necessary evil, since without him, the whole multiverse could be destroyed. For Galactus, eating planets and ending billions of lives at a time is a small price to pay in order to maintain the cosmic balance of the universe. So let the big guy eat his snacks. Considering how powerful Galactus is, we think he should be an endgame type villain, meaning that the Avengers and other heroes should face him only in Phase 6. Kinda like how the Avengers finally fought Thanos at the end of Phase 3, which was the culmination of the Infinity Saga. We might actually get our first glimpse at the World Eater in the upcoming Eternals movie. There has been a lot of mentions about the Celestials in recent films, so we think that Marvel Studios has some plans for them in the future. Our theory is that Galactus will have some type of connection with the Celestials, who are going to play a major role in the movie. And no, don't worry, we're not going to suggest that Galactus is a Celestial. Our idea is kinda wild, so we're going to do our best to explain it by using two different versions of Galactus from the comics. I'm gonna take a few notes from both the Earth 616 version of Galactus and the Earth 9997 version, who was the main focus of the Earth X series from 1999. Galactus actually comes from a previous universe, which was destroyed by the Big Bang. He used to be known as Galen, an explorer from the planet Ta who tried to prevent the destruction of his universe. In the Earth X version of Galactus, it's the Celestials who are responsible for the destruction of Galen's universe. The Celestials are ancient cosmic gods who've existed since the start of creation itself. But here's a crazy idea. What if the Celestials destroyed Galen's universe for a reason? Not just to play gods, but to create something else. Like 6 powerful artifacts that would change the universe forever. What if the Celestials sacrificed an entire universe to create the Infinity Stones? The Infinity Stones were described as remnants of 6 singularities that existed before the creation of the universe. Perhaps the Celestials in the MCU aren't as strong as they are in the comics. After all, Marvel Studios tends to scale down the power levels of some characters, making them much weaker than their comic book counterparts. So it would make sense if the Celestials needed to create the stones to become cosmic gods, and sacrificing an entire universe to achieve that wasn't a big deal for them. We saw evidence in the past that there's some connection between the Celestials and the Infinity Stones. In the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, we saw the Celestial Eson the Searcher using the Power Stone to mow down an entire civilization. And it's possible that other Celestials used the stones in the same way, creating and destroying life everywhere they go. But what does this all have to do with Galactus? Following the birth of a new universe, Galen was transformed into a being of pure cosmic energy, known as Galactus. He possessed a cosmic energy known as the Power Cosmic, which turned him into a godlike being. There are, of course, many other factors in Galactus' origin, but we're trying to keep it short. Due to his new form, Galactus must consume immense cosmic energy to survive, and that's why he must devour worlds, and turned poor Norrin Rad into the Silver Surfer to serve as his personal "Find Me the Closest Restaurant" app. And that's how the Devourer of Worlds started to Pac-Man his way through entire galaxies, one planet at a time. But on Earth X, Galactus feeds on only specific planets. Planets that have been impregnated by Celestials. Okay, first off, that's gross. Also, did any of those Celestials at least go on a date with the planets before they put seeds into them? In the Earth X version, the Celestials have lost their ability to reproduce, and the only way to have new little cosmic god babies is by putting their seeds into planets that will eventually transform into new Celestials. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it was revealed that Ego the Living Planet had planted seeds on multiple planets in order to terraform them into an extension of himself. Ego also claimed to be a Celestial himself. The thing is that in the comics, Ego the Living Planet isn't actually a Celestial, but it seems like that was changed for the movies. And so, if the MCU's version of Ego really is a Celestial, then that means there's a precedent for Celestials surviving by impregnating planets with their seeds. And this is where Galactus comes in. He's a type of Celestial population control, as he maintains the balance of the universe and keeps the Celestials in check. Galactus consumes only planets with a Celestial seed. This way, he ensures that there will never be enough Celestials around to threaten the universe again. If the Celestials are cosmic gods who had the Infinity Stones, then what happened to them, and how'd they lose the stones? After all, other than Ego, it seems like all the other Celestials are gone, so what happened to them? We never really found out about the history of the Infinity Stones in the MCU, so we still have many questions surrounding them, like who hid them around the galaxy? How did so many stones end up on Earth? How did Thanos get the Mind Stone? And who created the entire Soul Stone deal on Vormir? We think that the Eternals movie will provide these answers, since we're sure that there's a reason for doing a film that's set thousands of years in the past. The Celestials are actually the creators of many races in the universe, one of them being the Eternals. The Eternals might have played a major role in defeating the Celestials. It's possible we'll see a cosmic war in the 2020 movie, as the Eternals will unite with other ancient beings, like the Asgardians against the cosmic gods. And it's very possible that Galactus actually helped the Eternals against their creators. Galactus might be a villain, but he has also united with heroes on many occasions to preserve the cosmic balance. Like that time when Annihilus threatened the entire universe with his annihilation wave, and Galactus ended up saving the day. Not only that, but Galactus is also known as the Life-Bringer and the Seeder of Worlds, since he can bring people back from the dead and even create life. See, the guy isn't all that bad. After the Celestial War was done, perhaps the Eternals or Odin got their hands on the Infinity Stones and used them to either kill all the Celestials or push them to the darkest edges of the universe. After that, the Eternals decided to hide the 6 stones to make sure no other cosmic threat would be able to use them again. In Endgame, the Ancient One explained that the Infinity Stones are crucial for each timeline, and without even one, the whole universe is in some serious danger. We all assumed she was referring to Dormammu, but what if there's more to that warning? The Infinity Stones might be used as a sort of shield against cosmic threats, and without them, the universe is in serious risk. And what do you know? Following Endgame, the universe no longer has the stones to protect it. The Mad Titan reduced them to atoms. With the stones scattered away as subatomic dust, the Celestials and other cosmic threats are free to do as they wish, and Galactus is now the only cosmic power around to keep them all in check. Upcoming Phase 4 and Phase 5 movies should slowly set Galactus up in the MCU. Marvel could start hinting at the Devourer of Worlds in movies like Thor: Love and Thunder, Captain Marvel 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We think it makes total sense if the Silver Surfer, Galactus' herald, will be the one in the MCU to slowly set the villain up. For example, we could see the Silver Surfer clash with Captain Marvel, since Carol Danvers patrols the universe, and she's bound to eventually cross paths with the world-devouring giant and his space-surfing herald. While Galactus is a necessary evil that maintains the cosmic balance of the universe, most people won't be able to really justify the quintillions of lives that end every time the Devourer of Worlds gets hungry. And let's not forget that Earth is on Galactus' menu, since it's very likely that there's a celestial seed waiting to be born on our teensy little blue planet. We don't think that the heroes of Earth and the galaxy will just stand idly by and allow Galactus to munch on every planet in his path either, even if it's to ensure the balance of the universe. With this direction in the MCU, Galactus' clash with the Avengers will be much more than a bunch of heroes fighting a big CGI giant. There's a lot of depth here, and some big questions of morality and cosmic responsibility. If the World Eater doesn't do his thing, then the universe might face a far worse fate if the Celestials rise again. With this approach to Galactus, there's a much deeper debate to have. We have no doubt that when the Marvel heroes finally face Galactus, we'll get an amazing mega crossover event.